Good morning, everyone. This is Tracy Newman from The Navigator's Tarot, which you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and Sleepy Wisdom on YouTube. And if you would like a personal reading from me, you can find me at my website, which is sleepywisdom.com. And yeah, let's get into the masculine reading. What's going on for the masculine at this point in time on this earth plane right now? When I talk about the masculine and feminine, as you well know, I am talking about the energies, not the gender. Genders are quite confused at the moment anyway, so the best thing to do is to go within and find your own divine feminine and masculine and balance out those energies as we go through these shifts and changes, both within and without. Okay, so this is the divine masculine reading. Masculine's actually moving into the power of analytical thought, really moving into that masculine energy of analysis. Very analytical at this point in time. There's a lot of forward movement with the masculine as well. That masculine energy of the scribe is coming through as well. Needing to write, needing to express anything that is coming through. I would say feelings and all of that sort of stuff, but right at this point in time, the masculine is in this analytical phase and really not in his feeling center at this point in time, becoming very more intellectually sort of minded at the moment and really stepping into that part of himself. Really interesting. But also too, knowing that this is all about literally coming into balance with his feminine, even though it's that is his desired outcome, is to become. So his desired outcome, he is actually recognizing, is to come into union with his own divine feminine. And what that is actually kickstarting in the divine masculine is his the age-old origins of the masculine, which is about protection for his feminine, being the problem solver, being the person that must become responsible not only for himself but for his feminine. And what is actually occurring for him is to become really balanced within. He's actually recognizing that he's been led away from that, and now he's getting back into the origins of what is required on every level by the masculine. What is required by the masculine is to protect, to love, to be totally balanced, to be analytical, to be able to problem solve, to provide for his feminine. And so what's actually happening is, to get into some sort of balance, he's now recognizing the truth of who he really is, which is everything that I've just described. This is very, very interesting energy. So the masculine is now ready to take responsibility for the truth of who and what the masculine is on every level, within and without. Really interesting. This is great. Wow, masculine's really stepping forward and moving into amazing energy of responsibility, analysis. Yeah, so, wow. Once again, this is more about thought too. So more about analysis, thoughts, and really, getting into the truth of what a masculine actually is. Like the traditional role of the masculine was always to provide, to protect, to be the problem solver, and to always be there in that way, that physical way for his feminine. And now he's actually beginning to see just how he can he needs to change his life so that he can encompass his own divine feminine and to come into balance with his own divine feminine. This is happening on every level for him, on an inner level, so that it can then manifest on an outer level. Interesting stuff. Yeah, it's like this is now the time. The time is right, and lots of fruitfulness. There's lots of changes that are occurring for the masculine on every level, especially, as I've said, on a physical level as well. He's really starting to see exactly who he is, the truth of who he really is, and not something that he, traditionally on so many different levels, since the patriarchy, happened a millennia ago, he has been led away from the truth of who he really is, and and has literally subjugated the feminine, his own feminine, and become a tyrant in his own life. I'm talking about energies. This is about masculine, feminine energies. So, but now it's kind of like there's this softness that's coming in. And also too this protective feeling that he has towards his own feminine, and recognizes that. So he's coming out of those feelings of shame and guilt and everything else that is actually ever portrayed towards his own divine feminine, and now coming into a space of healing and unconditional love. But it's not in the same way that the feminine is more moving into the traditional role, and what he should have always, what the masculine always was about protection and providing for his divine feminine, and for himself as well, and for everybody else as well, and also to be coming together with others to manifest the best outcome for everybody around him. And so coming into union within, but also providing unity on an outer scale instead of separation and subjugation, which has been what the masculine has been used for over a millennia. So yeah, coming back into the traditional roles of provider and protector of all. So yeah, interesting. So and so to do that, he's actually had to come out of the feeling center and to come into this analysis, this analytical type of energies to manifest this traditional role that it's sort of like resurrecting that ancient law of masculinity through his physical body, but also too through his emotional and intellectual bodies as well. Really great. Masculine's doing a fantastic job, on so many levels. So, and this is also meditation is, for everyone at this point in time, is an amazing thing to really step into, but especially for the masculine, because, oh wow, he's starting to switch on every single one of his chakra centers. It's like he's literally powering through this, be coming through this analyst and the analytic thoughts that are coming through, it's actually bringing him into stillness and balance, and all of his chakra systems are alight and just beaming out this absolute light coming from him. Amazing stuff. We're really beginning to move forward into these new earth energies and aligning with God presence, I guess, in a way. So even though it's happening on an inner level, but it's also happening on an outer level, and we'll begin to see some real changes on the earth plane. Even though things are not looking like things are changing for the better, they literally are, because on a galactic level, on so many levels, this is occurring. These changes are occurring and we are moving forward. So don't take any notice about what is actually going on an outer level. It may look like things are getting worse, but they aren't. I think I read somewhere that things are not getting worse, they're getting uncovered. And it's kind of like things are being uncovered, like the truth is starting to come through. And as it begins to come through these energies of the masculine and feminine, that's happening from within, we will literally be able to see that on an outer level. But it may just take a little bit of time, because we have to settle into the changes that are happening within before we can manifest any of it on an outer scale. So, that's what's happening at the moment. But it's springtime here in the Southern Hemisphere, and we are beginning to see the change for the better in the weather. And and also too, it's really interesting. I've seen there's been a lot of reports of snakes around at the moment at this time, and my poor little granddaughter's horse, which she had on loan, or she didn't have it on loan, she actually was, they were looking to purchase the pony, actually died from snake bite a couple of weeks ago. A very sad occurrence. But there's a lot of snakes getting about, which is a serpent energy. But for the serpent, it's all about, removing skin, but also too about snakes are a really different energy as well. So it's interesting that we're beginning to see so many of them coming up, and little baby snakes as well, which are highly venomous and very, very poisonous. So watch out for snakes on every level, because of course, as we move into these beautiful new earth energies, the darkness will begin to fight back, and we may see some of that occurring as well. But that's okay. I mean, we are moving forward, and the masculine is doing amazing work to balance out those energies and to resurrect the old traditional values that the masculine once held. So coming into union on every level, that's what's going on. Because the union card has come up in every single reading this week. Okay. So I shall see you anon. I shall see you next week, and look after yourself till then, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.